Every hypnotist needs these beliefs. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. If you're studying hypnosis, there are certain beliefs that we recommend you install within yourself. So this is all about those empowering beliefs that hypnotists should have. And we hope you enjoy it. Use these beliefs to become a better hypnotist.
I'm Mike Mandel.
I am Chris Thompson.
And we are Mike Mandel Hypnosis.
And we run the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy. That's right. Let's get started. So what's the first one?
Well, the first one is there are no bad subjects. If you're out there with an old model that says, 10% of people are excellent subjects, 40% are pretty good, and some are lousy subjects, and then 10% can't be hypnotized. That's nonsensical. Go in with the belief that every subject you meet is a great subject because there are no bad subjects, only inflexible hypnotists.
What do you mean by that, inflexible hypnotists?
The ones who throw the same technique at everything. And
I read my script at you and it ain't working. Yeah.
Yes.
You won't be hypnotized.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
I really laughing at our friend Greg who does that character that he calls.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bucky Saint Lawnmower or something. Yeah.
Fun. Anyway, you've got to be flexible. You've got to have skills. Go in believing, yes, every subject is a great subject because I have flexibility in my behavior to adapt.
We even joke about this in Toronto when we do our live classes, and we say at the end of our 5-day architecture of hypnosis training, the students leave and they never run into a bad subject again because they're all miraculously sent to other hypnotists. They only get great subjects. Yeah.
Okay. What's the next one?
Well, going into trance is all about learning about going into trance. Trance is a learning state. And as the late Tad James put it so well, learning about hypnosis is the ultimate learning. We're using learning to intensify trance states. You may not be a great subject at first, but you can learn to become one.
And I would say that having fun can be a trance state too. Because if you're in a really great mood and you're just loving what you're doing, time seems to fly and you'll learn faster.
Now, let's keep in mind, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. Now, some people disagree with this, but what we actually mean by that is you have to have an active participation in the creation of your own trance. It's not that you're sitting there and the hypnotist is doing something that puts you into hypnosis. It's self-hypnosis because you're responding to everything they offer you.
So in other words, if I'm a hypnotist and I decide, I'm going to hypnotize this man here, Mike Mandel, I'm going to hypnotize him. Well, if he's sitting back in his chair just thinking, dick, it's not going to work because he's not participating.
Right, you must be an active participant.
So all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. The reason this matters so much in terms of a belief for hypnotists is that you must involve your client in what you're doing. It's not something that you're doing to the client. Right. It's something you're doing together.
And the client will not actualize what the hypnotist does not believe is possible. Basically, what this means is if you go in with the attitude, I hope this works. It may not. Your confidence is going to have a direct effect or your lack of confidence on what will follow. You must believe that you can cause this to happen. And your client will actualize that because they will be picking up nonverbal cues and verbal cues from you. And that will determine the depth or whether or not they go into a trance in the first place.
All right, let's move to our next belief. And that is anything that assumes trance causes trance. This is more of a believe it to be true because Clark Hull said it in 1933 in his book, Hypnosis and Suggestibility. He was a Yale University professor, so that gives him prestige.
It does.
And we're appealing to his authority, and we admit that that's a logical fallacy,
so
but it's okay. But yeah, if you believe that anything that assumes trance causes trance, then you'll realize how easy it can be to do hypnosis by going backwards. If you create that cataleptic hand or arm, you are creating a so-called medium trance or whatever the case may be.
Right. If we need a degree of trance to create a certain hypnotic phenomena, this statement from Clark Hull basically says we can do it the other way around. We can create the phenomena and get the trance by default.
Right. So that's a really good one. What's the next one, Mike?
Well, trance is a natural phenomena. It's happening all the time. And some people are rigid about this. Hypnosis and trance are not the same. Trance is what happens naturally. Hypnosis is what somebody causes. Nonsensical division that is absolutely unnecessary.
If we frame it as a natural process that's already happening all the time.
Watching TV, driving, listening to music, zoning out in a hot tub.
Yeah, if we're selling something that's perfectly natural, it makes much more sense that way, right? It's not some weird mystical thing. It's not magic. It's not mind control. It's a natural thing. Think of it as a supplement. You know, people will buy the bottle that says natural, 100% natural. Hypnosis is 100% natural.
Nice.
That's
I like that.
belief.
I like the
Yeah,
metaphor.
we've never talked about that before.
No, we haven't, but we will now.
All right.
Anyone will readily go into trance if they are properly motivated.
And that is the next
that's
belief.
the
So
thing.
anyone will readily.
And the only thing that will keep you out of trance, according to Dave Ellman, the late great Dave Ellman, was fear. You know, fear of it. And when people think they're going to lose control, quack like a duck, do all these crazy things, take their clothes off, all of that stuff, nothing whatever to do with hypnosis, often to do with alcohol and social compliance. But if you motivate someone to get rid of their phobia, motivate them to feel better, you can easily cause trance. It's all about the pre-talk and what goes on before the hypnosis.
Okay, I love this next one, which is talking about trance creates trance.
Right.
Now that's a neat one, right?
This is Richard Bandler, and it's brilliant. Basically, talking about hypnosis creates hypnosis. The idea is, or trance, the idea is, in order to check whether these things about hypnosis, driving your attention inward and having a free-floating mind, all these things, in order to talk about them, we have to experience them to a degree. And one NLP maxim is that people do what they're talking about, and they talk about what they're doing. So we start talking about hypnosis and zoning out and driving your attention inward and becoming less aware of the surroundings. It starts happening because you're talking about it. You're accessing psychodynamic processes by discussing them.
It's very similar to how if you were talking about when you get together with, let's say, old buddies and you talk about, reminisce on old memories.
Good old days.
Everyone all of a sudden relives that and is in a great mood because you're talking about the great mood that you were in back then.
Right.
Yeah, talking
very
about
good
it causes
very strong.
Okay, next one is clients already have all the resources they need. What does that mean?
Well, the implication is that we have a vast unconscious mind, which is just a model, so don't write to me. And the idea is it is chock full of resources. Every film you've ever seen, every book you've ever read, every conversation you've ever had, every event you've ever witnessed, all of these things are there as resources that can be drawn from as though they're your own experiences. And so we presume that everybody who is of adult age already has enough life experience that we can draw from. They want to overcome a fear. We access the fact that they've overcome other things, et cetera, et cetera. They have the resources they need. We just help them activate them and bring them into the right context.
All right. And we've got one more. This is the most important one. Mike, would you like to reveal it?
The best subjects tend to be good looking, which is why I'm a phenomenal hypnotic subject.
So we want you all to believe that you are incredible hypnotic subjects because you're fine looking.
Exactly.
That's right. All right. That is it for this video. So while you're here, you may as well check the links under this description on the video. Check the links in the description under this video. You'll find a link to the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy. It is free to get started and it's awesome. People love it. While you're here, you may as well smash that subscribe button.
That was rather a weak touch.
Yeah,
that's better.
Here.
Thanks
there
again.
we go. Just enjoying it really nicely. Thanks again and
good night.
Good night.